All right, what's up, guys? We're back with top four Dallas Regionals. We have James Taylor, LonZoroark versus Isaiah Williams, scrambled eggs, quad eggs, whatever you want to call it, ZoroarkEggs. So we see the most unoptimal start from James turn one, which is the N supporter turn one. It's not Bridget. Even Sycamore would be better. I don't think he doesn't play Sycamore. I just looked at the lists for this one. No Sycamore. Still bad to play N. So what? I mean, I should explain that. So when you play N, you give your opponent 6 new cards. Out of Isaiah's first 7 cards, he found 1 Zorua and nothing else. But now you're giving him a new 6 cards. He could find like 3 more Zoruas, whatever, a bunch of other bench Pokemon that he wants to put down. So N is always like the worst supporter turn one. And in Zoroark mirror matches, if you whiff the turn one Bridget and your opponent doesn't, it's huge. It's a huge deal. Not sure if Isaiah has it. I already see double puzzle in Isaiah's hand, so that's not always good. That's not good to start with. We'll see what James does. He has at least 1 Ultra Ball. Looks like 2 Ultra Ball. He's debating using it now, and I mean, with the Toad, he can take like a slower approach. I assume he keeps this Ultra Ball here, so we can go Lele for Bridget next turn. But he could go with a play like get a Zorua here, and then if he has another supporter to follow up. And, you know, he's Quaking Punching, so he slows down his opponent, so even if he doesn't get off the Bridget. But, yeah, I like holding the Ultra Ball, especially if he has no other way to get Bridget out of his hand. And then next turn, do the Bridget plus Quaking Punch and slow down Isaiah a little bit as well. So we see the turn one. We have Compressor, and we know he has Double Puzzle in hand, I think. I'm almost positive I saw Double Puzzle. So he's getting out all the essentials. Double egg back, Ultra Ball away, double egg. I assume this will be for Lele for Bridget. I can't imagine anything else going on unless he has no follow-up out of hand. Lele. And the way the scrambled egg deck works, it's a little weird if they do set up Muck on James's side. With the Zoroark deck, you kind of just want to sit there and Hex every turn, or bring your eggs back, Hex, shut off Sudowoodo, bench all your eggs, one shot, rinse, repeat. When Muck gets set up, it gets a little weird. Nothing really changes. You don't have to Hex as much at that point because your bench will stay full. So other options come into play. So he has like a god start here from Isaiah, and he's probably going to get Ultra Ball plus Hex back, I would assume. He's going to play the Ultra Ball this turn knowing he's going to get Quaking Punch, double egg back, Ultra Ball away those. Zoroark, I assume. Oh, he goes for Shaman. Okay, so he must have Skyfield in hand then. He move his prizes over a little bit. Yeah, he's got the Skyfield. Skyfield comes down. Shaman setup. And yeah, Isaiah's deck basically plans to Hex from turn 2 on if it can. It looks like there's 3 DC in his hand. And a Lele. So Wonder Type. I assume he's going to be getting a as he organizes his bench. I assume he's going to be getting a Colress here, actually. He would ideally want to use Hex, but if his hand is actually just dead off the setup, then yeah, he needs to go get something else to set up. But he's pretty much threatening a KO. Oh, and he can do the Paralyzing Gaze. Tails. Okay, yeah. He's not under too much threat. James would literally... If James doesn't bridge it here once again... So if James doesn't bridge it here... And he is bridgeting. If he doesn't bridge it here, even if he has Floatstone, Lele, DCE, Knockout... as long as he can respond, Knockout, he doesn't really care. He does have the Bridget. So if he did have also Floatstone, DCE, Lele, and Knockout, that would actually be pretty good on James's side. We'll probably just see a Quaking Punch and a Bridget. So we see Zorua, and you kind of have to get Muck down in this matchup, or you will lose, just based on you running out of Pokemon to be able to do one-shots before your opponent. Because once again, Isaiah has all the eggs, so he can constantly just egg back, get his eggs back, and then when they get discarded off the Sudowoodo after the Hex concludes, he can once again propagate them all back. So on James' side, you either have to, like, even when Isaiah hexes, you have to hex yourself, so your board sticks. Or you have to set up the Muck so it shuts down the Sudowoodo, so it becomes a game of just bench Pokemon instead. So yeah, he does get the Ultra Ball for the Grimer. Okay. Either way, I think you have to do this, and then look for the Grimer later, maybe. But I think you have to get double Zorua Sudowoodo here. And then if you have to get Grimer later, that's fine. You get Grimer later. But he does also have the Grimer here, which is great. That's like the ideal start from James. So he's hoping actually Isaiah doesn't draw too much off this. All right, so there's Zork, and then now because and here goes the chain. Because Isaiah got the Zorark, he can now just start hex chaining with eggs. We'll see what he goes for here. He has computer search. I'm not sure what he's really debating here. He's gonna put stand-in play. Okay. So I would like to see. Yeah, well, he's going back to his eggs. Here we go. 1 egg and computer search. Bridget egg. Makes sense. Oh. Thinking about it. All right, attaching DC. I don't see a reason not to computer search the Bridget in the egg. We'll see. We'll see what he's thinking. He's thinking. He's definitely thinking. You can computer search Bridget and egg. I don't know why he wouldn't just take the knockout here. He can definitely get it. What is he going with here? What is he doing? Going hex and maybe go for the 2-shot. I guess that's also fine. All right. Hex and swing. Okay. I guess this is fine. He definitely could have gotten off the 1-shot, I think, for sure. What does he have? Egg. Egg. He could have gone computer search away. Egg Bridget. Get battle compressor. Play battle compressor. Put 2 more eggs in the discard pile. Hex. Play the hex. He also could have just computer search. So at the very least, actually, I would have liked to have seen him computer search for another ZoroarkEggs GX here. And put it here and trade again. At the very least, I would have liked to have seen that. I guess he's holding the computer search in hand because he wants to get another hex, but I like using 2 more trades over 2 more turns, personally. So he goes with this. Hex, hit. He could have gone computer search away, egg Bridget, battle compressor, 2 more eggs in the discard pile, all the eggs back, hex, bench all the eggs, 1 shot. He could have done that. At the very least, and this is what I would have done, I would have gone computer search. You're also getting Quaking Punch next turn, so you can't use the computer search. So the computer search is not finding you a hex next turn. He's most likely Quaking Punching. In this situation, I would play like my opponent's going to Quaking Punch me next turn. So I would have 100% gone and traded another again. Or I would have gotten another hex off the computer search. And then I would go hex again and commit to the 2-shot on the Toad. But now that computer search is just not going to do anything. Most likely. I assume we'll see a Quaking Punch at James. We'll see. I can't really tell exactly what's in James's hand. Quaking Punch. Okay. Yep. So now that computer, you just can't use the computer search. Top deck is ZoroarkEggs, though. So yeah, I think once you commit to the 2-shot play, he committed to this 2-shot play. You still then you definitely play that computer search for the hex. If you want the potential of the 1-shot play, computer search for ZoroarkEggs gives you an option of the 1-shot play. Computer search for battle compressor gives you definitely the 1-shot play. Commit to the 2-shot play. You're like, okay, I am 100% content with 2-shotting this Pokemon. I would have gone and got a second hex with this computer search, 100%. You're like, okay, I'm fine with 2-shotting this Toad. I doubt he can move it. I'm getting Quaking Punch again next turn. You can't play computer search if you're Quaking Punched. Could have played computer search last turn. Kept hex chaining him, and it's obviously the hex. The hex obviously worked. Because James just did nothing on his turn. Just absolutely nothing. You're unsure if the hex did anything, but if you used hex and your opponent does pretty much nothing for their turn, it's you want to hex again. You want to try and hex again for sure. So we see another trade. The only outs here for another trade. Yeah, he's just building up on his hand. I think I would have actually, like, at the beginning of this turn, knowing your only option, your only out to get hex here is to draw, because I know because Isaiah plays 2 hex in his deck, so his only out to get a hex off on this turn is to draw a raw hex. Puts 2 eggs in hand. Stand in, knockout. Yeah, so he puts the eggs in hand because of Muck. I think I would have liked to have seen him just Colress immediately turn 1. Knowing he's most likely not going to see a hex this turn. Very unlikely that he sees a hex this turn, because he would have to get his other copy of hex out of his deck. I would have liked to have seen him Colress immediately for 8 and then triple trade after that. Because once again, we're just trying to get a big hand or a hand of a specific amount of cards with Zorark and then just build on it more. So I'd like to have seen the Colress immediately on the turn 1, especially after the Zorark top deck. and knowing the chance of you drawing your Hex for your turn are so low. I don't know exactly what's in his hand, so his hand might be just good enough to just keep it. But we'll see. Isaiah's heavily favored at this point, I think. He's so far set up ahead of James. And once again, like, James didn't have anything because he was getting Hex chained. So once again, if Isaiah had just computer searched for a Via Seeker or the other Hex itself, and then played the Via Seeker for the Hex, or just had the other Hex itself in his hand, he would have Hex chained again, and he probably would have just won this game in like 3 more turns. But now James has a chance because he didn't set up that play. I'm also personally not a huge fan of evolving stand-in immediately like this. I think you could have waited. I would have left the spot open for a 4th GX. Another thing to comment on about the turn where he chose to 2-shot the Toad. If you commit to the 1-shot on the Toad, James has his own stand-in, and James could have stand-in knocked out your ZoroarkEggs. It's not a huge deal because then he's losing a Zorua for sure, or losing a Zoroark for sure, and that's kind of what this matchup is all about, like how fast you're losing Zoroarks. So we see the 1 attack where he gets this. Once again, if he just had gotten the Hex off the computer search, this couldn't happen. But here we are. This is where we are at now. It's going to be a pretty big... This Gets is going to hit pretty hard, I think. And definitely has the potential to bring James back in the game. Oh, yeah. Here we go. It's like 7-8 right there. Yeah. Definitely has the potential to bring James back in the game, for sure. We'll see what he gets. Ideally, he just gets his Zork. He just kills this. He doesn't want to set up Muck yet. You set up Muck now, it shuts off the Sudowoodo for Isaiah and gives Isaiah the potential of, like, I mean, James just saw his hand. James knows he has a ton of Pokemon in hand, so it could make it very easy for Isaiah to get the kill this turn. So Ultra Ball from James. It looks like he's eyeing up the egg, which is fine if he wants to get the egg into the discard pile as soon as possible. Especially if he has like another Ultra Ball, and I see computer search for sure. So he Ultra Balls for egg, and he's going to computer search it away, or double egg. Oh, he got rid of another egg initially, too. Okay, yes. Computer search away 2 eggs. I assume it'll be a Zoroark. Yeah, there's Zoroark. So we switch Zoroark, come down here. Egg trade. He obviously wants another Zoroark. He does not want to set up Muck just yet. Double puzzle. Computer search Ultra Ball. Okay. I'm not sure where he's going with this. I don't know why. Hold on. We'll see what he gets. We'll see what he gets here. I'm not sure I like this play though. Okay, I definitely don't like this play. So the first Ultra Ball got this, right? Well, no, he Ultra Balled for... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. 2 eggs back, computer search. It feels unnecessary. I don't know. He's eyeing up the Muck, or yeah, the Muck. I don't want to see. He does not want to evolve it this turn though. Goes for Shaman. Can't bench it. Can't. Okay, so yeah, he definitely just messed up pretty bad there. Looks for Shaman. Yeah, I would have still liked to have seen 2 ZoroarkGX here over this foul play. So the foul play copies this. It puts Isaiah on odd prizes. But you just gets him. I mean, I guess all Isaiah would need is a Via Seeker. He has triple trade. He would probably get the return. He would need Via Seeker Choice Band out of 7 cards. Because he wouldn't be able to get off with the Colress. I would have still liked it. I think you're so far behind as James that you need to take the risk that you evolve this to a ZoroarkGX and it just doesn't die. Just doing this, you lose this, you push a GX. That GX is probably just going to die again too, to be honest. After all the trades Isaiah will get. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen this become a GX and you're like, okay, Isaiah, you're not going to kill this. Because if you kill this, I lose. And if you kill the GX, I lose. So why wouldn't this just be a GX that has more HP? It has the potential not to die. So I think this should have been a GX. I don't think he should have double puzzled there. I think that Ultra Ball should have gotten a GX, or the computer should have got a GX here. He should have just traded and then considered the double puzzle. Then obviously the Ultra Ball for the Shaman is just not good. He's bringing his eggs back. There's his first trade. Doesn't actually have another trade setup. He's bringing the eggs back just in case of Hex because he wants to be able to fill his bench or have the potential to fill his bench. Oh, he actually gets communication. I assume this goes and gets his Arua. Oh, he actually goes and gets the Muck. Okay. Please don't evolve it. No. No. Oh, okay. All right. So you just made Isaiah's turn way easier by doing this. Isaiah no longer needs to find Hex. Oh, he doesn't even need to because you sent up this guy. Okay, so it doesn't even matter because this guy's active. I still don't like the Muck Evolve yet. You want control. You want to be the first person to take a big knockout with ZoroarkEggs when you put the Muck in play. So what's going to happen is you're going to kill this. He's going to kill this. Next turn you'll go ZoroarkEggs, but I wouldn't want to put the Muck down here. Is it fine? No, because now you give... Isaiah can go like... Guzma, kill your ZoroarkEggs now. Isaiah can go now, fill his bench, Guzma, kill your ZoroarkEggs. Yeah, you don't want to put the Muck down here ever. Yeah, Isaiah can now go... You know Isaiah's hand is literally all basic Pokemon. He has 3 trades, and now you gave him the option of getting Choice Band, Guzma, and killing your ZoroarkEggs, and then killing your Lele and just winning the game that way. See, I don't like this. Yeah. Now by putting the Muck in play, he gets the Guzma option on this. I would be content with killing this personally on Isaiah's side. Maybe just Colress kill this. He goes for the trade Colress. Ooh, he gets a red card here, so the red card's going to be pretty sick. And actually, he has a Choice Band too, so now if he... And he has a bunch of basic Pokemon in his hand. I'm not sure what the rest of his... if he has Guzman in this card pile, I don't think so, but... Trades an egg. Battle Compressor. I wonder if he'll go for a Hex on this turn. Where's he got? Guzma, Colress, Ranger out. I expect him to red card this turn. I actually don't know. If James doesn't have that many cards, I guess not. Third trade. Float to Pseudo. Red card. And then he'll probably go for... I mean, go for Getsus or Hex here at this point. I don't think it really matters. Probably go with Hex. I don't know. If you know... It depends on if you know James's supporter count or not, I guess. And then you can look at his discard pile and be like... Does he only have Via Seekers left for supporter outs? It looks like he just went with... he went with Getsus. Okay, he went with Getsus. Yeah, I think they're both fine. We got Acerola, DCE in hand. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like the situation would have been way better on James' side if this was a GX Zork and he just didn't evolve the Muck yet. Or Choreo on the bench, knockout. James' turn, got the Flowstone, but his hand is mostly dead. Oh, does he have DCE, Acerola plus top deck, and now he has 1 trade to draw supporter. If not, he... Oof, I don't even know what he does. If he doesn't have it here, I don't know what he does. There's a Battle Compressor. Okay, and actually, this is why I think this matchup is... Or I'll talk about this heading into the next game. So we get rid of Egg, Karen, something... he can't use Egg. I don't know why he would get rid of Egg here. He cannot propagate Egg, and he needs to have a... He needs a basic Pokemon on his deck so he can fill his bench at some point. I don't know if this is just a blunder on his end. Contemplating setting up Lele. I think I like Lele here to attack with. You don't want to give up your only Zoroark. Either way, you're in such a bad spot that I don't think it overly matters, but... Yeah, that's not good. We know Isaiah definitely has enough bench Pokemon to kill this right here. I think ideally he kills a Zoroark. He needs to bench a couple more Pokemon. Guzman kills Zoroark. If he doesn't get that, it's not a huge deal on Isaiah's end. 3 trades, bunch of cards, a ridiculous amount of cards. Ultra Ball, debating an Ultra Ball. Getting rid of Ultra Ball Zoroark. Gets another egg. So yeah, if he has the Guzman kill on Zoroark, it's better than killing the Lele. Just because you get rid of all of the draw power on James's side. But if you just kill Lele, it's fine. All right, he's got the Guzma. Yeah. So 4 more bench Pokemon. 2, 3, 4, 3 eggs. Lele, knockout, clean. And once again, this option is only in play because James evolved the Muck. This is not an option on Isaiah's side of the field if he does not evolve Muck. You only want to put Muck in play as the player using the Muck or with the Muck in their deck when you know you need to shut off abilities for the turn, but he already has Sudowoodo limiting Isaiah's bench, so there's no abilities for Isaiah to put down like a Shaman or a Lele. So you only want to put the Muck in play when you're using it to shut off their Sudowoodo to fill your bench. That's pretty much the only time. I don't think there's anything for him to do. Send it to Bunnelby. Mill 2. Yeah. All right. Going on to game 2. So I want to talk a bit about this matchup and why I think it's really favored for Isaiah. So both decks, when Muck comes in play, operate the same. They sit there, fill their bench, and one-shot each other. For Isaiah's deck, though, he doesn't need to set up as much. He just needs to Hex out a hand to kill. And then all he has to do to play around Muck is put all of his eggs back in his hand when Muck comes down, and they're basically playing the same deck at that point, except James had to go out of his way to find Muck, and Isaiah's deck is simply more consistent with how it's built. So I actually favor this matchup quite a bit towards Isaiah overall for those reasons. We'll see here from James, probably double Zorua Grimer, because once again, he has to set up Muck to be able to unlock his bench as often and more frequently. And if he ever prizes one of these pieces, he like actually probably just loses the game because it gives Isaiah so much control. So we do see the ideal turn 1 here from James. Pass over to Isaiah. We're going to see the same thing from Isaiah. Sudowoodo, looks like Sudowoodo. And once again, on Isaiah's side, even though you know they play the Muck, you still have to put your Sudowoodo out there and you have to force him to get it. Or you want to force him to get it. So it looks like he's going for Sudowoodo, Zorua. I think he has another Zorua in hand. Also, another thing I want to make note of, I don't know if he chose to open Oricorio and has Zorua in hand, but I actually prefer, I like opening a non-Zorua starter if I can in Zoroark mirror matches when going second. When going first, open Zorua. When going second, opening Egg, opening Oricorio is actually optimal in my opinion. They're most likely going to kill at turn 2, and that means they're not killing a Zorua, which is the only really important Pokemon in the deck. Zorua's got to keep the Zoruas alive because they become Zoroarks. So I think he has another Zorua in hand, but if he has a dead hand, he can't go for it. He obviously can't afford to bench it this turn. I maybe missed that though, and he maybe doesn't. Choice band to Zorua, fine, pass. Zork and looks like Colress, I think. Yep, no reason not to. It's not like he could trade first and try and get something cheesy like a Hex or a Ghetsis off this turn. But you know he has Colress in hand. There's already so many Pokemon plays. He's gonna draw a ton of cards. Just draw a ton of cards yourself. Try and set up a bunch of Zoroarks and then go from there. Damn, very good hand. Got the Battle Compressor. We can get rid of the eggs. We want more Zoroarks. We're gonna go look for those. Egg. Dun, dun, dun. Karen's useless. If he has Ranger in here, I'd like to see Ranger get kicked out as well. He maybe doesn't play. Oh, he plays Toad Karen. So, oh no, he can still play Ranger. Gets rid of 2. Thinking. There's definitely gonna be. Okay, so he just didn't get rid of a third. There's always this early in the game specifically. There's always another card to get rid of with Battle Compressor. It's just identifying which card it is. So I know 100%. I don't even have to know what the full situation is. There's another card in there that should have been Battle Compressor away for sure. There always is. There's always another card to Battle Compressor away. It makes your deck thinner, makes you hit what you want more, so you just need to get rid of cards that you don't need. There's a card in there for sure that should have been Battle Compressor away. What it is, I mean, it comes down to the question of what it actually is. But there is something. I know that for sure. Prop trade. And then prop trade. All he needs is DCE here. You want to be aggressive, especially when you have a Zoroark active. If he didn't have a Zoroark active, and if he had like Lele active, even if he had Floatstone on Lele, DC on Zoroark, I would contemplate just not attacking with Zoroark. But because he has Zorua active, which is a Zoroark, you always attack. But if he has a situation of where he like opened Lele instead, and then he's like, well, I have Flowstone on Lele and DC on this, but I know I can just Guzma next turn, and I know he has Chorus in hand for a supporter for the turn. So if he kills Lele, that's fine, or even better off if it's like a Grimer, and you can like stretch her back for the Grimer next turn. I would contemplate just like sacrificing that Pokemon, and not leaving my Zoroark in any kind of threat. But because it is Zoroark active or Zorua, which becomes Zoroark, just go ahead and get rid of it. Get rid of his active Pokemon. Attack. I assume we'll just get another Zoroark here. I think I would have liked just to see another trade, to be honest. I guess the stand-in's okay, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess stand-in's a good response to whatever. Yeah, I guess Muck's fine there. Thinking about Muck for a second, but yeah, I guess Muck is fine there. Yeah, he doesn't have his own pseudo in play. There's actually a good chance that Isaiah return KOs this Zoroark. I guess in that situation, this comes up, kills it. Then Isaiah can go kill, and then like ideally red card Hex, red card gets us, or even just end at that point. He only had one trade set up currently. Ideally, he's looking for more. We'll see what Isaiah draws if he can actually get there for the one shot. He definitely needs to look for the one shot this turn, though. I think. Trade. There's Skyfield. And I saw an egg and an Ultra Ball, I think. Or egg and Computer Search. So he definitely has it. It's just whether or not he's going to... I think he has to go for it. There's no way you don't go for it here. There's just the threat that you get one shot back without even one shotting. So another trade. Skyfield. DCE. I see an egg. I see Computer Search. So I almost want to see Computer Search, Battle Compressor. I don't know about getting rid of that Choice Band, actually. I'm not sure what else he had in hand. He had egg in hand. Oh, no, egg's shut off right now. That's right, egg is shut off. So maybe that, yeah, he probably just has to go with that then. Yeah, so he needs another basic Pokemon. Oh, he's going for the red card immediately. Okay. Interesting. Does he also have the knockout? I mean, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there they are. I almost would have liked to have seen the red card hold onto it for a couple turns. I don't know how many cards were in James's hand, so that would affect my decision. But I would want to red card him a little bit later down the line, I think. Especially, I would have wanted to red card him a little bit later down the line when he needs more to get a knockout. This turn, all he needs is DCE on this Zoroark to knock out this. That's literally all he needs. That's not that much. So I'd have liked to have seen him. Yeah, I would have liked to see him hold a red card. James needs so little this turn to return this knockout. Like, yeah, he just needs like nothing. So I would rather have held the red card for a turn when I know James needs more for his turn. Maybe it's the next turn, maybe it's the turn after that. But this turn, it doesn't seem like it's that great. I assume he has Flowstone in hand. I don't know why you want to put that on the Muck though. I think putting on the Muck's better, unless he's going for a Guzma play. But I can't imagine he would actually go for a Guzma this turn. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going for here. I just assume he has Flowstone in hand. Oh, he has stand-in. He can always just stand in. Okay, but if he can always just stand in, then I guess... Yeah, he can always just stand in. But yeah, but if you always can stand in, then I wouldn't want to leave Lele active. I think I'd still rather leave Muck active. I don't know. That's weird. You can always stand in. Yeah, that's right. I always forget about this kind of stuff. You can always just stand in. So I guess it doesn't matter what he has active. I mean, it does still a little bit because you'd rather have it be something that you'd prefer to sacrifice. If you sacrifice Lele here, I think you just lose the game, maybe. Well, maybe not. You could always follow up with him. I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter. We should hope he gets a DC here. And I think I see DC in hand, so he should be good from here on out. He's going to go DCE, kill this. Isaiah's response. Isaiah, I don't think, can really plan to just go out of the way and just kill two GXs off the bench. So I think maybe that's Isaiah's way to win, though, is actually to kill Guzma, kill this, or the Lele, into Guzma, kill the other one. I'm pretty sure you have to deal with the Zoroark as Isaiah. I'm almost positive he's going to have to. I guess ideally with his own stand-in. No, James is already on odd prizes, so that wouldn't do that much. So you just go, yeah, you just go ZoroarkGX swing. And see, this is the turn I would have liked to see the red card, I think. We'll see how it plays out, starts to play out from here. James is going to take this knockout. And I think this is the turn I would like to see the red card from Isaiah. Maybe like a red card gets us, a red card Hex. And you could completely make it, or you could completely destroy James's next turn. I don't know if James has another Zoroark. No, his active just died. I mean, I don't know if he stretchered there. I didn't see it. So I guess just get another ZoroarkEggs here from James or Bunnelby. I mean, you do just kind of need basic Pokemon as well, so you can threaten a one-shot on the next ZoroarkEggs. He could always get stand-in again though, and stand-in would work efficiently too. These here for Cole, trying to get around. Yes, these would have been it seems like it would have been a very good hand to have red carded. So we see the knockout. So yeah, the red card last turn really didn't make sense from Isaiah. Like James needed so little to return that knockout, but now that he's killing this, and James would currently need stretcher DCE here or DCE in a full bench, double puzzle. He needs a lot more to pull off a knockout this turn. James does. So the red card here from Isaiah, I feel like would have been way better. And it did very little to nothing last turn. And he should have been able to identify that. He should look at his board and be like, well, he's got stand-in Zoroark set up. All he needs is DC to return knock me out. Red card here should be held for the next turn. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah, the red card here would have been very good. If and once again, I'm pretty sure there's probably another card to compress our way. There's almost always is. You just got to identify what it is and get rid of it. You don't want those. There's always cards in your deck that you don't want because once again, now there's one more card in his deck that he can draw. That's probably just not good for this situation for the turn for a lot of things. And now he can draw it. So let's get it going with the trading. Trades once. I don't even know if he has Via Seeker in hand. Froze for a bit there. Blower Skyfield. Okay. I guess I don't hate that. We just saw James ditch a Skyfield as well. Oh, so this would have been a very good play. Oh, he has another Skyfield in hand too, so he can refill his bench. Ultra Ball, interesting. What is he Ultra Ball for? Oh, he doesn't have another Zoroark setup. I thought he had another Zoroark setup. So there we go. Gets another Zoroark. And then Via Seeker for Colress, I assume. Or N, I guess. Yeah, he's going for N. Okay, N's cool here too. I mean, I think still having access to the red card would have been better. And it gives him the option. If his trades had been a little bit better, he could have pulled off like a red card Hex, a red card Getsus. He doesn't, so he has to be okay with that and just move on. Another trade. Close zone, right speeding knockout. So he really if James takes a knockout here, I'm pretty sure James just wins the game. Or he'd have to get very unlucky at that point to not win the game. So we're looking at James to take a knockout here for sure. Just got N to 3. If he has to go for a 2-shot here, he has to hope then once again Isaiah can't pull off a 1-shot. Which I mean Isaiah just ditched a lot of bench Pokemon, so we'll see. See a trade. I think I see at least DCE in hand, so he's at least able to force a 2-shot. But he needs to find Skyfield Choice Band and then fill his bench somehow. If he wants to get off the 1-shot. Another Zoroark. Always good. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. I don't think it should ever become a stand-in. You need to draw cards this turn. Thinking about trade. There we go with the trade. There we go. Once again, we're looking for James to get a 1-shot here. And if not, I think he has to hope that a Guzma play would be good here too, I guess. I'm not sure what he Guzma'd. Sudowoodo. I guess that's fine. He puts himself down to even prizes. And then he looks for the 1-shot next turn, I guess. I almost don't know if I just like hitting the Zoroark more. I don't know. Isaiah needs a lot now. Yeah, Isaiah needs a lot now because Isaiah needs to go like kill this and N. So I guess I do like this play from James. Depending on what his hand was. If his hand doesn't have that much setup for the actual 1-shot, then I actually don't like it too much because I wouldn't hate it if and I think Isaiah is just going for the 1-shot. If Isaiah just goes for like, yeah, I think he's just going for Colress here. If Isaiah just goes for Colress and then tries to 1-shot this, I don't hate that from Isaiah at all. But as long as James has some semblance of the return 1-shot, I guess I'm fine with the play on the kill the Sudowoodo. Because if Isaiah goes for an N here, he's almost for sure not getting off the one shot. Yeah, it looks like Isaiah should have it for sure. Just going through the motions. Yeah, I see double puzzle and a basic Pokemon, so he doesn't need too much more. Stretches for Oricorio, Skyfield. Bench. So he has a double puzzle for Choice Band, I think. Double puzzle for Choice Band and puzzle. Red card, maybe. Actually, I like the red card, I think, here. Choice Band, red card. Yeah, Choice Band, red card seems pretty good. Yeah, so I would like to see... I don't actually know... it's interrupted for a second. Double puzzle. Choice Band, red card, I think, is the way to go here. I don't know how many cards. Once again, I don't know how many cards James has in hand, so that affects what I think should be taken. I think it should be red card, though. I don't know how many cards James has in hand, though. But I think you want some form of disruption against your opponent this turn for sure. I think he has quite a bit. See, he's thinking. Goes with puzzle. Maybe he has the other puzzle in hand, but that would make it an easy choice for sure. So I doubt he has the other puzzle in hand. He's thinking about DCE. Does not have the other puzzle in hand. Now I'm really curious as to how many cards James has in hand. BS Seeker, he's playing around, gets this. He just takes Chorus. That's all he needs at this point, is to try and pull off a one-shot, I guess. But he already set up for that. If he dies here, he loses. So how many cards did James have? That's what I'm curious about. If it should have, if I think it really should have been a red card or not. Initially, I think it should have been a red card instead of should have been a red card instead of whatever it's called. Yeah, so it wasn't that many cards. So I guess that was fine. Yeah, and it looks like that's gonna be game. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. All right, going on to game 3. And going first as Isaiah is where I really think Isaiah's deck can kind of run away with the matchup. I think it's very easy for his deck to go turn 2 Hex on turn 2 and then Hex every turn from there on out. And his hand definitely allows him to actually not even play Bridget turn 1. He's got a Getsus. Ooh, that's rough. That's really rough for James. So he's got the Getsus. He's got 2 Zorua set up. With the Zorua active from James, it's going to be an easy knockout on turn 2 from Isaiah. And then I actually don't know why James opened up with the Zorua over the Grimer. I think you should always open Grimer here. I guess with his hand it was okay, but Muck's pretty important too, though. I don't know. That's close. I haven't played enough of the deck for me to really know how important the Muck is. So it's close. And we see, yeah, Isaiah's already gearing up for the turn 2 Hex. Yeah. Pass. Draw from James. It's got to be good. I don't even know what you do here as James. If you actually Colors for 2, you probably do, actually. You probably Colors for 2 here. Yep, there's the Colors for 2. And James plays Shaman, so either he wants to hit like 2 Zoruas here or Shaman, and then find another Zorua somehow. He definitely needs to find another Zorua though. Ultra Ball Sycamore, not great. Alright, and this game, I assume this game's not going to last too long. Or if it does, it's just James trying to hold on for the whole time. Wonder Tag. I don't see a reason for him not to grab Hex here. Yeah, he grabs Hex. I'm actually not a huge fan of him always Battle Compression away 1 Hex. I kind of like leaving the second one in the deck personally. I also, because he knows he has access to Hex here, I don't like... Okay, so let's just rewind and talk about that play real fast. That happened. So we go... James does that. Boom. We see draw from Isaiah. ZoroarkEggs. DCE. He's going to get the kill for sure. He has access to Hex for sure. He has Lele in hand, and he actually Lele's for Hex. And then he looks at his hand. Eggs back. Ultra Ball. Okay, I don't like this Ultra Ball, and he's going to get a ZoroarkEgg here. I would much rather see him trade first. If you trade first, there's one more ZoroarkEgg in your deck, which means there's a higher chance of you drawing a ZoroarkEgg. And then you can use this Ultra Ball to get another Zorua. Because you know you have Hex for this turn, so that's all you need is Hex for this turn. And then from there, after that, you're just looking for VS Seekers, looking to set up more Zoroarks, want to do more trades. And now he goes Hex, egg trade. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that first Ultra Ball that he did. I would like to see him just hold that. I would like to see him initially just go egg trade, draw the cards. If he gets a Zork there, he evolves this Zork, and he doesn't have to use the Ultra Ball for the Zork. He can go use the Ultra Ball for a Zorua, set up another Zorua, and then he goes this guy, egg trade. Boom. If he gets a VS Seeker, he can hold the Lele in hand, use VS Seeker for Hex. That way there's a Hex still in his deck, and then he can find that Hex for sure next turn with the Lele. I guess not for sure. He could get Muck out. But like, with how far James is behind, I doubt he's going to, he's too worried about getting Muck out the next turn. You could even use at the end of the turn, if you find the VS Seeker for Hex, VS Seeker for Hex, and use this Lele to go get a Hex out of your deck. That way you play around Getsus, but Getsus is also not really a big threat because there's like no setup on James's side. So Hex swing, bam, yeah. But definitely would have liked to have seen that Ultra Ball held back and trade initially. If he finds another Zoroark, bam, he uses this one to trade, bam. And then he can go use that Ultra Ball, get another Zorua. You still want more Zoroarks. Even though you're this far ahead, you still want more Zoroarks. You always want more Zoroarks. So top deck Zorua is nice from James, although obviously not great. His setup is not great. And then he gets the Battle Compressor. I don't think I see an Ultra Ball or another Zorua. That's all he really needs here is another Zorua. This gives Isaiah the option to actually just go kill the Zorua, but I would be content personally on Isaiah's side to go Hex, kill, Muck. Yeah, I think I would be content to go Hex, kill, Muck as Isaiah. We'll see what he ends up going with. I don't think it's... There probably is a right play between Guzma, kill, Zorua if you get the option to, and just Hex, kill, Muck. I don't know for sure personally what the right one is, but it's probably pretty close. Draw. All right, there's an Ultra Ball. So now he can get out another Zorua this turn. Definitely wants to get another Zorua. Sudowoodo, trade. So now he is going the trades first, which you want to do. You want to trade first, and then you can decide what you want to do with your Ultra Balls. Now you can go double egg to hand, Ultra Ball, Zorua. See, there we go. So he traded first this time. And then decides what to Ultra Ball for, which I think is definitely the better play. So you can bench a Pokemon. He still wants to Hex him here. He wants to Hex or Guzma kill that. Okay, so the Guzma happens. He wants to do one of them and the red card. Insult to injury here. Also gets the red card. Yeah, I don't... At this point, it's probably too far gone for James to actually ever come back. We see another Ultra Ball. And even a Shaman. Why not? He might get out Muck next turn. Use the Shaman. I mean, I think the ideal turn from this turn from James is Muck, Floatstone, Stretcher, Bridget. Send up something irrelevant. And then follow up with an N. Looks like it has to be... Does he have Bridget in there? Maybe he has a Bridget in there. Okay. Well, he's got the Bridget at least. He still didn't prize the Zorua. That's also good. And definitely get Pseudo, yeah. Pseudo, did Shaman, that's fine. Ideally, he has Muck. No, not ideally anymore. Ideally, he can retreat the Muck, I guess. But then you have to give up your Pseudo. No, that's fine. So if you had Floatstone, retreat the... Or not even Muck. This is a Grimer at this point. Floatstone, retreat to sacrifice the Sudowoodo, I think is, yeah, ideal. Yeah. Even though it looks like... Even though... yeah, that's just ideal. They're both dying. And then from here, Isaiah just wants to go back into Hex Chaining. I see no reason for him to not want to go back into Hex Chaining. You could go back into Hex Chaining, or actually you can Guzma... Kill the Grimer is also fine. Guzma killing the Grimer is... Yeah, Guzma... I would actually maybe Guzma kill the Grimer. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I think you could Guzma kill anything. Yeah, either Guzma kill the Grimer or you Hex, I think. Gets back Guzma and Hex with double puzzle. I think he's going to go for the Guzma here. I think I would Guzma kill Grimer, because then your opponent never has an option to do anything. Yeah. They're always pretty much at the mercy of you, what you want to do on your turn. So yeah, see the Guzma kill the Grimer. Debating setting up Sudowoodo. That suggests he has his second Floatstone in hand. Or he has a play like... I mean, he can't have that many cards in his hand. Excuse me. So I don't know if he has like a Guzma kill on Isaiah Sudowoodo or something. That would be a way for him to come back into this game, is kill Isaiah Sudowoodo, and then Sudowoodo... I mean, then Isaiah can't like fill his bench or anything to get kills. Especially with Isaiah on 3 prizes, I would have liked to have just seen a Zoroark come up, and you just have to hope Isaiah whiffs the knockout, the hex knockout. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen him just promote Zoroark there. If you leave Sudowoodo here, Sudowoodo dies, and then Isaiah has 2 prizes. Like, just you have to hope. You just have to hope at this situation that Isaiah can't kill your Zoroark, and that's your only out back into this game. But if you sacrifice Sudowoodo, Isaiah just needs to one-shot 1 Zoroark 1 time instead of trying to one-shot 2 Zoroarks in a row, maybe, or something like that. So yeah, this Sudowoodo play feels wrong for sure. Double puzzle probably has to be for Zorua's. He's thinking about just scooping, I think. Yeah, there's a scoop. Yeah, there's pretty much no way that James is going to win that game. But yeah, still at the end there, I think you should have promoted Zoroark. Swing with Zoroark with DCE. You can hope that it doesn't get one-shot next turn. Maybe you ace a Rolla and then kill this Zoroark. Maybe you just kill it with that Zoroark, end him again. He goes kill you with his Zoroark. You go one-shot kill plus end, kill this Zoroark. Definitely didn't look good either way. I don't see James winning this game ever unless Isaiah did break really hard off an N. But that's always an out, so you should always play to your outs, I think, anyways. Trying to think of big points that happened in this game. There was definitely a couple of blunders, I think, on James' side. The Muck, evolving the Muck when he did not make any sense, really. And gave Isaiah a ton of options on his turn and turns to follow when he evolved the Muck there without taking... He got no advantage out of the Muck when he evolved it in game 1. And it gave Isaiah full options of like anything Isaiah wanted to do when he evolved the Muck that turn. So yeah, that wraps it up for game 4 or top 4 finals coming up next. Isaiah versus Riley.